Okay, so what's your name?
I'm David.
Alexander.
Blue.
Me da un poco de miedo, la verdad, porque nos tenemos que acercar ahí. Hey, excuse me.
Basically, in real terms, I'm considered the son of God.
I think the Bible's very real.
Pero eso siempre ha existido, yo creo que hay un poquito de todo, ¿no? Que la vida es como un balance.
You're not love, that's not love. I ain't doing that. I'm going to stay here and save humanity.
Bueno, esto ya es el día después. Ayer ya no pudimos hacer más, estábamos cansados, teníamos que ir a cenar. Ahora nos hemos cambiado de parque, estamos en el Hyde Park. Este sí que creo que es el parque más famoso de Londres. A ver qué nos podemos encontrar. Could you tell us something you are really good at?
Being able to solve complex problems in a really simple way and being able to encourage and love people. Being able to bring people out their shell. What I'm really good at is doing things that other people are really afraid of and then sharing the result.
I used to be a very good sprinter. Did 100 meters in about 11 seconds.
Oh, nice.
When I was 15.
Do you keep doing some type of sport now?
I mean, I work out in a gym about
Okay.
5 days a week just to keep fit. I think it teaches you discipline. If you do it as often as I do, sort of 5-6 days a week, there are obviously days when you don't feel like doing it. So a lot of people say, oh, you need motivation.
Yeah.
I'd argue you don't need motivation at all, because motivation is like you want to do something. With something like exercise and keeping fit, I think discipline is more important, because you're human. There's always going to be days when you don't want to do something. If it's good for you and you should do it, that's discipline.
Pues no sé, siendo una persona súper fantástica, fabulosa, ya está.
Una habilidad, yo que sé, cantar, bailar, algo que se te dé muy bien. O hablar con la gente, comunicarte.
Claro, hablar, comunicar, soy maravillosa.
Me da un poco de miedo, la verdad, porque nos tenemos que acercar ahí. Estoy aquí con mi madre, que tampoco somos aquí, pero es que tengo ganas. Está en un edit. Hey, excuse me, English? I would like to ask you some questions. Do you mind? First, what's your name?
Kane.
I would like to ask you, what are you doing here? Because I've seen a little bit your performance. I would like.
Dance.
You dance?
Yeah, just a little dance, a little flick to this tree. It's like a healing tree.
What was?
It's like a healing tree.
A healing tree.
Yeah.
Ah,
Just kind of expressing my emotions to plant life, releasing myself.
I see you are improvising it and like
Yeah.
you do what you feel, right?
Definitely.
What's your profession? What do you do?
It's not so much a profession. I just took a certain path in life, a very, very interesting life. I'm working on solving some of the toughest problems that we have in the world at the moment, just from the perspective of reclining and relaxing at the same time.
Okay. You seem very fit. Do you do some kind of exercise apart from dancing?
Yeah. Well, not really at the moment.
No. Do you think exercise is important for people?
All exercise is important. You can get different aspects of exercise. Meditating is exercise. Mind, thoughts and processes are exercise, because you burn more calories doing nothing than you do doing something.
Really?
If you're doing nothing, you've got lots of voices in your head.
Ah.
Your body's like boom, 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 boom. It's like fighting, but you're actually moving and actively moving around. What you're doing, you're clearing the blockages in your body. And then when you go into your nothingness, this is me doing the nothing. That is when you can find your inner self just like,
What do you think that would be the worst problem in today's young people?
I don't see any problem as bad. Everything is solvable. Every problem is fixable. It's just, let's do it.
Do you want some food, love? Or do you want a sandwich? Or do you want a packet of crisps? Like that's like me time. Oh, do you want a sandwich? There could be an emotion that links to, oh, I had a sandwich earlier, but that something that in that emotion will matter from the future to the present to the past for your now.
Very nice.
I hope that helps.
Do you think that people worry too much for problems that aren't so hard?
If you're going to fear anything, fear God. Don't fear the opinion of men or even your family or friends, because anything can rule you or pull you away from your destiny. Circumstances, evil people, people with their own agenda. They all think they're on it. They're not. Not one person was on it until I did. But of course, I'm his son.
I need to clear these clouds in my mind. I will just go for myself. Reason. You're not meditating. You're stressing yourself out.
Yes.
You're putting yourself under a lot of anxiety, a lot of pressure. And what you're doing is like you're starting your day off with like a lot of is when we're like saying we're traveling to work and we're stressed. We say stressed, but that is meditative. You're on the pulse. Go. So like go. So this is my go moment. When I start work or finish work, I'm gonna go. It's like the 5 seconds. Like, fuck it. I mean.
Yeah. What do you think is success for you?
Success. I think there's a lot of emphasis on money in the modern definition of success.
Yeah.
I would say fulfillment is more important. I know a lot of people who have very high paying jobs or come from a lot of money in their family, and they're some of the saddest people I know. I'd say people who live fulfilling lives, they may not necessarily get paid a lot of money. I'd say that's success. Waking up every day and feeling like I'm going to do something I want to do.
Success for me is trying, but understanding like if you try too hard, you're not going to get where you want to go because you've lost your focus. When you're trying too hard, when you're like, what you're doing, you're overachieving. Perfection, it goes in, but it doesn't go in here, it goes in your eyes. Having like
Pues no sé, llegar al sitio donde tú deseas. It doesn't matter what.
¿Cuál sería el tuyo?
El mío, pues no lo sé, todavía estoy por descubrirlo, pero
Sí, ¿no?
voy bien
Vale.
caminada. Tener una meta, conseguirla, luchar por ello, o simplemente puede ser feliz.
And it turns out that absolutely no one would have made it to heaven until that one person did the whole purpose of the whole thing, and that was me. So I've achieved something that was almost impossible. I've excelled to the top of every kind of mystery school, the Masonic, the Rosicrucians. I'm now the most experienced and most qualified on every single mystery organisation all around the world. I'm at the top without having participated, because of my relationship with the Creator. So I now know more than all of them put together. And I did it all without any mentorship in 42 years.
What would be the things that even with all the money in the world, you will keep doing as you do now?
Basic things. And for me, exercise is very important, as I've said. Not only physically, but I think mentally it benefits you as well. Because even if you had a sort of slow day, it makes you feel like you've at least gone out and done something. Staying true to principles as well. Principles are very important. If you stick to principle, you live a life that's true to yourself, no matter how much money you have, whether you're homeless or a rich person.
I say this tree is in full meaning of pain.
Pain.
Pain, yeah.
Why?
If you look at it, but they're also like shrubberies as well. So it's strong, it's sturdy. But if you look at like all the bark and there's details, there's texture.
Yeah.
If you allow your mind just to like release into the moment, you're going to deliver something to life, and life is going to give you something in return.
What's the place?
So basically, in real terms, I'm considered the son of God. There's two creators and none of us are known. The Bible was screwed with. A couple of thousand years ago, Richard the Lionheart, the King of England, went on the Crusades and he invaded Israel and he did a lot of bad things. And he made Israel adhere to this new religion. He'd done bad stuff, really, really bad stuff. He took the scriptures and messed with them to the point where they're not recognisable and recreated his own version because he wanted them to do certain things. So the scripture, the Bible, is nothing like what it should be. None of it. It's pretty much all.
Would you work if you had all the money in the world?
I would work on projects that I felt were fulfilling. I wouldn't work a job like work for someone else.
Yeah.
I would do philanthropy, I think. It's basically, if you're a rich person, it's like charity. Work doesn't necessarily have to be for someone else. You can work for yourself.
I was going to go to heaven for 3.5 years. The Antichrist was going to rise and then I would come back after he's killed all these people and then I would defeat him. And it's like, no, screw you. I don't like this. You're not love. That's not love. I ain't doing that. I'm going to stay here and save humanity. I don't want to marry you if that's what I need to do. Why should I go away and let the Antichrist rise and then just so that he can murder all those people? No, but that's what you had to do.
You're not really breathing anymore. You're not taking in the oxygen. So that's when the trees are like, we're releasing oxygen to you, we're taking in all carbon dioxide. That's also belief, right? Because how does a tree breathe? It's like O2. It's like, that's the O. And we're working two ways. We've got CO2. So it's like, I see O, you too.
So, as she said, you've been treated like shit and no one's ever came to me and said, what's going on? No one. They all just went, oh yeah, me and him fought like cat and dog. I mean, we fought, argued. I was like, I'm the first person to ever call him to his face and really mean it. And he loves me for it. But essentially, I am his lover. I am known as the bride of Christ, but the bride of Christ is also he himself because there's two of us.
People are like, oh, I smell this, I feel this. Oxygen is nothing. There's nothing with oxygen. Oxygen and CO2 do not even exist.
Como nos comparamos con otros.
Sí, pero eso siempre ha existido. Yo creo que hay un poquito de todo, ¿no? Que la vida es como un balanceo.
Claro.
O sea, un día estás aquí, mañana estás allí.
Claro. What do you think of people who don't believe in God?
Well, I'm a Christian, I always have been. It is my firm belief that one day everyone will believe in God. I believe we all come down to this earth for a reason, to fulfill a purpose, whether that's great or small. I think that purpose is given to us by God, but I also think humanity also has free will, and if you choose to live a life that's maybe deviated slightly from the purpose you're given, that's your choice, but ultimately there may be consequences to that. God isn't a tyrant. He's quite loving and caring, I think.
Yeah.
You can choose to love him or not.
He's coming, I'm here, he's coming soon. There'll be alien invasion. But they're all friends, so basically all the angels and things come. So in other words, aliens. Basically, I'm going to fund everybody partying forever. It's going to be heaven on earth because I am the king of heaven. It's all good stuff going on. All of this is going to be your lifestyle. No stress, no working.
You might scream at your child, you might be like, ah! But your child will show so much vulnerability within self and be like, fear. You're never going to move on until you've actually got to a point of like self-realization of like, okay, this is me. Because I'm going to fucking teach you a lesson right now. And I'm going to feel fucking arrogant and yeah.
And this is a little token here because you're beautiful, you got a beautiful mum. What you're doing here is a little signal to you because you're going to have so much to talk about. Bless you, I'm feeling emotional for you. But you're going to travel the world doing this and have a big audience because you met me. You'll always be known as that guy with the first footage of me, which I interacted with, because if anyone else might have footage of me, but they've never asked me questions and I've never admitted to who I am on camera. You're the first, and that's my gift to you.
What a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Give me a hug.
Could you tell me what's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear? Dying young. So I want to live a long life and have a family and
Nice.
give them the same sort of childhood and opportunities that I've had, because I think I've been lucky. Death itself isn't a fear, because obviously I'm a Christian, I believe in life after death. Dying unfulfilled, that's scary. So it's not a massive fear, but I'd say that's probably the biggest one.
I don't think anyone can answer that question. That's the gateway, I personally think, into heaven. It's a retraction within self. You've just broken through something, you'll then penetrate forward, and then you get your little crack. That crack is a spark of darkness. That's your darkest fear. So if you're searching for your darkest fear, you're never going to find it.
No sé, sentirme sola.
¿Por qué?
Pues no lo sé, porque me gusta estar en compañía.
Sí, ¿no?
Pero no me refiero a estar sola en plan como en una situación, en plan la realidad, ¿sabes? En plan me refiero a estar sola de no tengo nada, no tengo nadie, no sé dónde ir,
Claro.
no sé a quién acudir, si necesito ayuda, no sé a quién ir.
Do you believe in the history of Bible and like all the past and history?
I think the Bible's very real. I think it's important to acknowledge what you don't know. I don't claim to know anything. I just try to do what's right, and the Bible's quite good at telling me what's right and what's wrong. I would encourage everyone to read the Bible.
You will always know me in a different way, in a deeper way than everyone else, the normal world. When they come on board, like to knowing I'm here, it'll be different for them, so I'll be like, yes, normal, but you'll know me differently.
Yeah.
And I love that. You'll always be my best friends and my most trusted companions. Like come in my bedroom or however big it is, and I'll be like covered in God knows what, and I don't care. I will always be in love with you. I will always love you. When everybody rejects you, they never will. I'll be the one that fixes it and fucking tears into them. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you so much.
I will never judge you. I will always love you. Right?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, give me a kiss.
Forgive yourself and have your wow moment. Your wow moment is it's not wow like wow. Wow is ow. Like ouch, pain. Dead dark and dead light, because it goes from one leg to the other. Because like all these things and like the crack, it's like then you have like
Yeah. I understand. What do you think it's what fulfills you? What's your purpose?
Well, I'm still young. I mean, I'm only 24, you
Yeah.
have to find it. If I had to put money on it, I'd say one thing I've always wanted to do is have a family. Very simple thing, but a lot of people nowadays don't want families, believe it or not. Obviously I have to work hard to be able to provide for them and all that. It'll come, I think.
Pienso que como conclusiones sacamos que detrás de ese miedo de hablarle a la gente se encuentran experiencias increíbles, muchos aprendizajes. Me ha gustado bastante hacerlo, la verdad. He encontrado una pasión aquí. Nos vemos en la próxima. Deu.
Yeah, I used to be quite good.
What do you do?
I used to, what I used to do.
Ah, ok.
Vale.
Confianza, es una conversa normal, tranquilo.
Vale, no te
Y
preocupes.
si no te gusta,
Es
pues nada.
tranquila.
Tremenda cagada.
En lo que destacas que seas muy bueno, muy buena, perdón.
Tremenda cagada.
I am life. Your life, all lives. You just
Okay,
Long
okay.
enough.
I think that my phone is literally going
I
to die.
know.
I like you keep doing this and really appreciate your work. Nice to meet you. See you, sir.
Igualmente.
Que vaya muy
Chao.
bien. Adiós.